is Wrestling Reverb. And now your host, Josh Robinson.
What's up, everyone? I am your host, Josh Robinson. I am having a lot of computer issues right now. My monitor is just being a piece of shit, and I am doing my best because I have a lot of thoughts on wrestling right now. If you've been following my Instagram and my Twitter, I've been more active than normal. I'm trying to be a little bit more active with people and stuff like that. Trying to actually just podcast aside, just create bonds with people that I don't know that like wrestling. That's kind of my goal at the moment, and I'm just not really in the intention of podcast. It's just, let's just talk about wrestling. The podcast is, obviously a main love and a passion of mine, but sometimes it's got to take the back door and just talking about wrestling and stuff like that. And then, people have been so appreciative lately, and I put out a tweet, I believe it was early this morning or last night, I can't remember, but just thanking everyone for the support, because I really do appreciate everything that everyone does, just a like, a retweet, a share, just interaction with me, because, it's just fun. It's just fun to talk to people about wrestling. So, people know who they are, whoever listens to this podcast and whoever tweets at me and stuff, they know who they are, and I just want to say a big thank you to them, because it doesn't go unnoticed and it doesn't go forgotten. I remember all of you, and I really, really do like it, and I love it a lot. Before we get into anything, I'm not going to go into specific details of things, but I've got some real big things lined up for Wrestling Reverb. I feel like I'm on the upper, just like that next step I'm taking, and taking things with a different perspective as well. So I'm just looking at things differently, and I'm just having fun with things. And I put out on Twitter, I took some questions. That's going to be another episode. It's not going to be right now. I'm going to do a Q&A. I've been looking for some potential guests to come on, just in the wrestling community on the internet, potential co-hosts and stuff like that. So that's kind of fun, because I want to have people to talk to when I'm on my podcast. But yeah, there's lots of things happening. We'll just dive right into things, because I'm just kind of going to be chopping and chanting. Like my last episode I had on Crown Jewel and Evolution, this is just kind of echoing what I said before, because there's a lot more things that have happened in the last, week and a bit since I put out the pod. Crown Jewel, obviously, I still stick to the same stance I did a week ago. I don't think it should be happening in a place like Saudi. I'm not going to go into that. Just listen to my last episode if you want to know why I think. But I still stick to the same stance. I still believe that, with all the little... I think... I could be wrong, but I think we're about 3 weeks out from Crown Jewel. Maybe 2. We're 2 weeks out from Crown Jewel. And... I mean, with all this stuff, I think today they postponed ticket sales or something like that. With only 2 weeks, it's, quite the stretch. They don't mention, they go out of their way. You can tell they're going out of their way on TV not to mention Saudi Arabia. They're just promoting Crown Jewel as an event. What I think and what I want is two different things. What I want is obviously it not to take place in Saudi. It's not the actual Crown Jewel event itself, although I as you know, I have my opinions on Shawn Michaels wrestling, but it's not even the Crown Jewel. The Crown Jewel event itself actually seems like it's going to be quite a good pay-per-view or network special, whatever you want to call it. It actually seems like it's, it's top-notch, it's top quality. So it's not the actual event that I don't want to take place. It's just the fact that it's happening in Saudi Arabia. I just don't think with all this stuff with the controversy that's going on in that country, and just the culture as a whole is controversial to be, entertainment-wise to be associating with. But what I think and what I want is two different things. What I think will happen is that the event will go on in Saudi. They'll go out of their way to not mention Saudi Arabia on television. But I think at the end of the day, they're getting paid. There's so many different numbers going around, but I seen something that it was like $60 to $70 million just to come over to Saudi and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, they're going to make their money. They're going to cash their checks, and it'll probably still be an okay show. probably be a fairly good show. It's just it's hard to watch it just from that perspective of without trying to take in everything else. I don't think I'll be able to. Am I going to watch Crown Jewel regardless? Yes. I'm a wrestling fan at heart. At the end of the day, they're still wrestling. There's still stuff that's being promoted on TV. I'm going to watch it. However, that is the type of fan that I think they rely on because they know that we're still, for the majority part, we're still going to watch it. There's those people that'll stick to their guns that won't. There's some people on the other side of the fence that really don't, care for all this, the quote-unquote politics coming into wrestling. So they're going to watch it regardless, and they don't really mind where it's taking place. But yeah, I'm still going to watch it. I think they'll stay there. They'll cash their checks. They'll put on a fairly decent show. Speaking on Crown Jewel, wasn't even really going to talk about this, but the WWE World Cup. For one, there's, 8 people in it? Yeah, 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown Live. We've got Rey Mysterio, The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, John Cena, Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins, and Dolph Ziggler. First things first, a World Cup is meant to represent the world. Yeah. It's all Americans. So, also, another thing is I'm so sick to fucking death of hearing Michael Cole or Tom Phillips say, the WWE World Cup to determine the best in the world. Bitch, shut the fuck up. It's so annoying. Just call it the WWE World Cup. Call it the America Cup. Call it the fucking Ruthless Aggression Era Cup. Something, but not that. Because it's really annoying. But yeah, the World Cup, to be honest, they're, besides, Dolph to a certain degree and Seth, they're all older stars in there. Who do I think will win? I really don't even know. I think we're going to have... I didn't even know how this tournament will work. I'm assuming that there'll be 2 matches from Raw, 2 matches from SmackDown, and then the winners of the 2 Raw matches fight each other, and the winners of the 2 SmackDown matches fight each other, and then those 2 fight each other in the final. So then it's Raw versus SmackDown in the final, I'd assume. I think Ray makes it a fairly long way, if not to the final. Maybe it'll be Ray versus Seth, or Ray versus Kurt Angle. That'd be... I think Baron Corbin has something to do with Kurt, obviously, because there seems to be going that way for Survivor Series. So, I think that happens. But, yeah, I think Ray makes it to the final for the SmackDown side. I just think he's white hot at the moment. Unless something happens with Shinsuke, who knows? But speaking of Rey Mysterio, it's really fun to see him back. SmackDown Live 1000 was a really fun show. It was a little bit rushed. It was the one time where I wanted it to be a 3-hour show. Well, usually I don't want a 3-hour show, but in this case there was a lot happening. They were rushing through a lot of stuff. But nonetheless, it made every segment worth it. There was something that happened in every segment. It was fun seeing, Ray and Shinsuke had a fairly decent match. Ray looks great. He looks better now than he did when he left in 2014. And I think he's 43 now or something like that, or around that age. He's looking really good. He moves really good. Shin's fun. It's a bit of a missed opportunity of what they've had with Shin and the United States title. It seems like he won that title and was off TV, really, except for here and there. But that's, sometimes that happens, and it's a shame, but, shit happens. But yeah, him and Ray had a great match. It was fun seeing Evolution, the tease between Batista and Triple H. Charlotte and Becky absolutely killed that segment with Edge. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more when I talk about Evolution a little bit later. But that was fun. There was just a lot. Every segment was fun. It was fun seeing Vince dance. I like stupid stuff like that in wrestling. I really do. I just like stupid, no nonsense. You don't have to think about it kind of stuff. Stephanie was fun. Shane's fun. I miss Shane. Although I think Paige has done an absolutely fantastic job. I think it'll be a fun dynamic to see Paige and Shane McMahon, kind of working together. I think that'll be fun because it's not very often, even with Daniel Bryan and Shane, they had their issues. They had, that little tension with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn towards the latter part of last year, and then all of a sudden went to WrestleMania match. But they had their tension. There's never really a pair that really just work together nicely and just are friendly towards each other. I think, obviously, you can't have a match between Paige and Shane McMahon, so there's no intention of keeping it in the back door of maybe having a match between these two. So it's fun. You can still obviously have a heel and face dynamic, but I don't think that's really necessary in this case. So hopefully Shane sticks around, and hopefully we get to see him and Paige work together. Shane will be wrestling again, there's no doubt about it. It'll probably be at Survivor Series. I'm surprised it's not at Crown Jewel, to be honest, but because everyone else seems to be wrestling at that event. So Crown Jewel has been promoted. I said this last week, and I stick to it again. Crown Jewel has been promoted so much more than Evolution. Evolution should be this big, massive, huge deal. There's only one first ever. And, we've got, not for everything, but for the most part, it's been a very lackluster build. And the booking of the whole event has been so poor, it's not even funny. It's kind of just, it's just pathetic that they haven't put more effort into this when it should be the biggest deal and number one priority. There's only one first ever, and it just makes me, me personally, no matter what they put on the card, I'm going to give it my undivided, full 100% attention and support because, as everyone knows who listens to this, I'm the biggest. I love women's wrestling. I love wrestling in general, and they've done an incredible job at building this division back to the main scene, to the main event. And Evolution should have been, well, it still will be for me, as I said last time, other than the Super Showdown, which I attended. It's the pinnacle of what I want as a fan, all women's exclusive event. And, besides from the, the top 3 matches, there's really been not a lot. They should be getting storylines, and they should be getting, if we're going to have past and present, we should be getting them in singles matches and stuff like that. But instead, we've got a Battle Royal, which earns a future women's championship match. It's not the Battle Royal itself, it's the people that are in it. I understand, and this is no disrespect, but I understand people like Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, the Iconics, Alicia Fox. I understand people like that being in it. It's people like Asuka and Naomi, Nia Jax, even Ember Moon to a certain degree being in there. It's just, I think they have earned their spot a little. They're a little above a Battle Royal. They should be getting matches, We should be getting storylines between the current girls, not just old girls coming back. And then you throw in the Battle Royal, you have people like Ivory and Molly Holly, Michelle McCool, Alundra Blaze is even going to be in this Battle Royal, Tori Wilson, just to name a few. But why would they be in that Battle Royal? Why would they want a future women's title match? Then, it doesn't make much sense to me. It's just lazy booking. I understand getting everyone on the show. It's not about that. But it's just incredibly lazy booking. Just something else. Why not, if you're really going to go like this, why not a tournament just to kind of spice it up a little bit? Or something else. And this is no disrespect to Trish Stratus and Lita, because they have been, pioneers of women's wrestling, and I understand that they should definitely be a part of it. But I don't think they should be in a main marquee match over these current girls that are just stuck in the Battle Royal. And again, not knocking them, because I love Lita and Trish. And again, they should be a part of it, and they should be in, we should have more other matches, to sink our teeth into that isn't the 2 main title matches and that. Yes, there's an NXT Women's Championship match, which I'm very excited for, Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. I think that's going to knock it out of the park. I honestly think that could nearly steal the show. There's the Mae Young Classic finals, which I don't know who's in it. I know that we're into the semi-finals now. Toni Storm versus Meiko Sakamoto. I always botch her name. I'll just say Mako because it's easier. I apologize. And no matter how many times I try to say it, and I've watched every episode of the Mae Young Classic, I still can't say it. I don't know fucking why. And then we got Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley, the winners of that fight at Evolution. My personal opinion, I think, will be Toni Storm and Io Shirai, and I think they'll knock it out of the park. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't take part in any spoilers for the Mae Young Classic, and I just think that there is other matches. I think there's going to be an NXT UK Women's title match, maybe. I watched NXT UK, but there's still a few weeks, and I don't take part in those. Did I see that? Maybe I did. I don't know. Anyway, that is, I'm not going to say it, even if I am right or wrong, but just in case people aren't partaking in spoilers, and I'm not one for spoilers on here. But yeah, there'll be that. What else was there other than the two main title matches? It looks like they're building something with the Riot Squad, Sasha, Bayley, and Natty. I mean, yes, at least we're getting a storyline with the current crop of girls, but that's just a throwaway tag match on Raw. We've seen that so many times, but I would prefer that kind of booking over a battle royal. A battle royal with those stars in it. Maybe like why not have like the younger crop of talent in there and they get a future opportunity or something. I just didn't think it should be that, but nonetheless, I'm still going to enjoy Evolution. I'm still going to watch it, undivided attention. I'm still going to be very emotional that night because I love women's wrestling. It's still going to be a pivotal night. You can't have any other first evers. I just think they should have put some more effort. Get benefit of the doubt, we still have 1 week of television until Evolution. So let's hope it's all systems are going and, full speed ahead towards the 28th because we want this to be killer. We all collectively want this to be amazing. We don't want this. These girls will not let it fail. No way in hell will this fail. But who knows when you'll ever get a second or women's pay-per-view. You just never know. You never know with WWE especially. Sticking on Evolution, last week I stated how I believe Ronda and Nikki should be the main event because of the outside eyes that it brings in. I still stick to that. But even taking away the mainstream publicity that it's getting, Raw this week, they absolutely killed their segment. A lot of people aren't a fan of that kind of, the low blow kind of shots that Ronda took and stuff like that. I believe it adds a sense of personal heat towards it. And I want to see, a part of me wants to see Ronda Rousey just destroy Nikki Bella. Another part of me wants to see Nikki Bella win. And yes, I said that out loud. I don't believe Nikki Bella is winning. This is all for Ronda. But I think people need to give this match a little bit more attention and don't sleep on this match. I think this is going to be a lot better than what people are already assuming won't be very good. I still believe it should be the main event. However, watching Becky and Charlotte absolutely kill it on SmackDown, they are making a viable case on why they should be the main event. The last woman standing will be awesome. I think they're going to beat the shit out of each other. And isn't it nice to see two headlining title matches? They're not just like, I should be the main event. They are literally busting in our television screens and they are saying, put us in the main event. Both Ronda and Nikki and Charlotte and Becky. It's nice to see that refreshing, real strength between all these women that they want to be the best, they want to be number one, they want to be in the main event. Here's why. And they are putting it out there. I think the difference between the women's, the women as a whole, the women's division as a whole, and, the male talent is that the women collectively all want this to be amazing. They all want to work together and make sure this is the best possible match, segment, product, pay-per-view, whatever it may be. Today I actually rewatched the women's Money in the Bank ladder match from this year. And I think because we watch so much wrestling in a year, in a night, even a 4-hour show, we don't kind of let things sink in sometimes and we just kind of let things pass by. Watching that match, those women, you could tell all 8 of those women wanted that match to be perfect. And when you think about a ladder match, for me at least, it should build to that, the climb, and it should build to all these ladies wanting to grab that briefcase or title or whatever it may be. They had all their spots at the start, and there was 2 parts to that match. If you cut it down, there was the first half, which was spots, lots of doing moves onto a ladder or from a ladder or into a ladder. The second half of that match was climb the ladder and grab the briefcase. There was a few little spots, but climb the ladder, grab the briefcase. That is dissecting a ladder match. That is the perfect ladder match. I don't think it was the greatest ladder match ever. I'm not saying that. But when you cut it down, that was systematically how you should do a ladder match. Not a lot of people seem to, well, at least for me, this might be just a me thing, and I could be just talking out of my ass here, but I don't think a lot of people really thought that match was incredible. Rewatching that today, that's an awesome killer match. But back to my point is that these women all want to collectively be successful. They all want it. They all know they have to work together. It takes more than just one, top star. Yes, they're still already fighting for that top spot. They all want to be number one. They want to be the champion. They want to be the main event. But they all collectively want to work together to make this amazing. And that's the difference, I think, and that's why the women's division is killing it and getting these, different things. I still stand by what I believe is that Evolution, I don't think, is a direct result of the greatest Royal Rumble and Crown Jewel, because they can't compete on those shows for the cultural reasons of Saudi Arabia. I don't think it is. A lot of people, it might seem like that, but I don't believe it is. I believe these women have earned it, just like they earned the fact they had Money in the Bank ladder matches and Hell in a Cells and Royal Rumbles, Elimination Chambers, marquee matches on pay-per-views and shows and whatever it may be. They've earned this. I'll stick by to that, and I'll fight that, forever. Nonetheless, Evolution is still going to be a monumental event. You can't take back the fact that it's the first time, ever, and I'm still going to enjoy it. We can't control booking of a show to a certain degree. We can't control it, so we just got to take what we take, and we know that these ladies are going to still do the best they can with what they're given. Our Battle Royals are the greatest matches in the world. No, but they're never boring. They're always fun. It's always fun to see who wins, who gets eliminated. It is what it is. And they earn a future title match out of it, so we could get a surprise. Maybe we'll get someone like a Sonya Deville winning, or a Mandy Rose, a Dana Brooke, someone new. But I don't know. I'm going to do a little bit of an Evolution prediction show next week, so we'll talk about that a little bit more, and who I think, who I want, all that kind of stuff. There's not really too much more that I really want to go into on this episode. It was just kind of the same, echoing what I thought and stuff like that. It's just been, lately with wrestling, I think ever since I got back from the Super Showdown and that, we've been on a little bit of like peaks and valleys. There's been some things that have been really great, other things that have been just hard to watch, to be honest. Actually, I do want to get into one thing. I really haven't talked about as much as I thought I would, the Mae Young Classic, because it's my favorite part of wrestling every week. The Mae Young Classic has been absolutely incredible. I think this year has absolutely knocked last year's out of the park, and that's saying something, because I really, really enjoyed last year's. There's just this sense this year that the Mae Young Classic is just, it seems, we all know what wrestling is. It's entertainment, it's, scripted and whatever it may be. But with the Mae Young Classic, I watch that and I forget that this feels like real competition. This feels like a real sport. This feels like, it feels like they all want to get to the next round. They all want to get past this opponent. It's a real, a real fight. It makes me believe in all of these ladies. Every single one of those ladies I've had some kind of an opinion on, which is what they want. They want reaction. They want this. They have absolutely killed it. That Mercedes Martinez and Meiko Sakamoto match was absolutely incredible. It was one of the best pure wrestling matches I've seen on a WWE program in years, male or female. That was incredible. It's been the match of the tournament so far. There's still 3 more matches in the tournament when you include the 2 semi-finals and the final. I think the standouts from this kind of tournament have been obviously your Meikos, Mia Yim, she got signed out of this, which is great. She's been great. Caitlyn looked great in the ring. She had a great match with Mia Yim. You had people, Toni Storm. Rhea Ripley has become leaps and bounds in a year. She's a completely different competitor in 1 year. I think she's done crazy. Casey Catanzaro, she's green as goose, but she has... The sky is literally her limit. She is one to watch. Lacey Lane has been fun. There's been a lot. There's a lot to mention. Now, one that obviously has a different kind of effect is Tegan Nox. Now, she had been a favourite this entire tournament. Great competitor in the ring, bubbly personality, very lovable. It's just very easy to like Tegan Nox. Coming into the quarterfinals, she had a match this week with Rhea Ripley. I picked Tegan to go over in this one because I thought Tegan was going to get to the semis. I didn't think she was going to get to the finals, but I thought she was going to get past Rhea, as great as Rhea had been in this tournament. And early parts of the match, she goes for a suicide dive. Obviously, she had surgery on, I want to say it was her left knee, but it could be her right. Either. She put more emphasis on the opposite knee because obviously she was trying to protect her surgically repaired knee. Come down awkwardly. You could see it. This girl with the biggest heart I've ever seen on a competitor ever, really. She had just... she tried to fight through. We knew there was something wrong. Go through a little bit more of the motions of things, and Rhea does a drop kick. She lands, and Tegan you just hear the cry for help. The X goes up on her hands to tell the referee that this is it. And I heard the words, "I can't do this again." She's obviously done a similar injury to this other knee that she did previously, and it was absolutely heartbreaking. I literally teared up. It was that sad. The whole room of Full Sail, the whole arena, whatever you want to call it, went silent. There was people crying. It was really heart-wrenching. It was so hard. I send all my love and support to Tegan Nox, and hopefully she can kick this in the butt, come back even better and stronger, because she has a bright future. And it's just sad to see someone like that good, and who fought so hard. She was meant to be in the Mae Young Classic last year, couldn't do it because of an injury. And it's just there's no other words than it sucks, and we're all on this journey with her, and it's just, yeah. Rhea did her best to kind of stay in her character and stay in her kind of, normal Rhea nastiness. But you could see on Rhea's face that she was worried, like, oh God, this isn't good. But nonetheless, Rhea goes on. She gets to fight Io Shirai. That'll still be a great match. I think Tegan and Io would have killed it. But nonetheless, I send all my love to Tegan, and the Mae Young Classic as a whole has been a fantastic experience for me to watch this year. I've literally not missed an episode. I watch it every Thursday because it's Thursdays here in Australia. And it's just been top-notch stuff. I absolutely love it. I just have so much love for the Mae Young Classic, and every single one of those ladies killed it. Every single one. I don't think we'll ever get a collective better group of 32 women than that, because they've all won it. They all made me believe, which is what you want. For someone that's watched wrestling as long as I have, it's sometimes hard to be captivated and just that emotionally invested, and just nothing else matters. You take away all your thoughts about wrestling and what you believe. We don't know as fans everything, but what we believe we know, and we just completely dive in to a product. There's only a few things in wrestling that make me do that. In watching as long as I have, there's only that many things that made me do that, and the Mae Young Classic is one of them. I'm glad they're getting a spot in Evolution because they deserve it. Absolutely killed it. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end things for this episode of Wrestling Reverb. Like I said at the start of this episode, I'll say it again at the end. Thank you for everything, because we're only on to the future from here, and I'm very, very excited for everything. So I'll keep you guys posted. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's all at Wrestling Reverb. You'll find me easy. And yeah, stay tuned for some things, because I got a lot of things planned. Peace.
Wrestling Reverb.